The Boruto anime just dropped a new opening, and there's some pretty interesting stuff there foreshadowing. I won't give major spoilers for anime only people, but the opening itself does give you a bunch of spoilers anyway, so take that how you will. So the start of the opening isn't very important. We just have Boruto's whole generation together, including Kawaki. Then it does some cuts to the various teams, which really doesn't show us much other than that these teams might be involved in the code actuation arc that comes after the Sasuke Retsuden adaptation. But a small detail is that Tsubaki is in front of Wasabi and Namida. So even though Wasabi became a Chunin and Tsubaki didn't, it seems like their team understands that Wasabi is butt cheeks, and Tsubaki is the one who actually deserved the promotion. Then it cuts to some other teams, and then it cuts to the academy, and for some reason Kai is still with them, even though she went back to the land of bamboo at the end of the Kawaki Academy arc. But that arc was probably the funniest Boruto arc, so if Kawaki happens to meet Kai again and does some funny stuff, I won't mind that at all. But then we have Boruto and Kawaki standing back to back in their Otsutsuki forms with their horns and the Karma Seal activated. And if you look closely at Kawaki's left eye, it looks like there might be a triangle in it. Just like how in opening 12 we saw Kawaki fighting Urashiki with his Karma Seal in his horn, and his left eye had 3 triangles in it. So the anime is just putting it right in everyone's face that Kawaki gets his Karma Seal back and he gains Isshiki's eye, even though he hasn't gotten his Karma Seal back yet in the anime. They do go a step further with things later in the opening, but I'm going to get into that at the end of the video. But now things start to get more interesting as we cut to Code just chilling on his bed, being all nonchalant like usual. Then to Eida and Daemon, who will be new to the anime. And I think it's kind of funny seeing their anime designs because they look a bit different from the manga, like most characters, but I do expect that it's going to look a little bit different from this in the actual anime, because the same thing happened with all the Kara members in Opening 7. Now, some interesting details here is that for one, Eida's eye is shown looking at Code in his bed, which is a nod to the ability of that eye, and we see its crescent moon design. And the other thing is how the opening does the exact same thing that the manga keeps on doing with Eida and Daemon, which is hiding the palms of their hands. Eida has her hands curled to cover them like she often does, and Daemon's right hand is shadowed out, so even though his palm is wide open and facing us, we can't see it. In the manga, Daemon's shirt covers his thumb and half of his hand, so we don't see it in the manga either. And it still hasn't been explained why they always cover their palms, even in the manga, but I've always found it interesting, and I think it's something to keep an eye on, especially since the anime is doing it too. But I'll leave it at that for now. Then it cuts to Boruto's generation, fighting the same drones that Ao had, and they fight the same puppets as the ones that were guarding the airship Kawaki was on, back when Kashi and Koji crashed Victor's airship. And then Team 7 is fighting Toneri's puppets that Urashiki was using, and the same ones Victor wanted Eva to find. So somebody in Kara probably found the scraps of the puppet Shiki destroyed or something like that, since people just ignored it and walked away. And I remember hearing that there's gonna be an anime-only code actuation arc focusing on an outer member or something like that. So something with Kara is probably what's going on here in order to set things up with Code, Eida, and Daemon afterwards. That being said, I don't expect to see Eida and Daemon until all of that stuff gets wrapped up first, but Code might get involved a little bit potentially. Then we see all those puppets in the same cubes that Shiki used to summon with Daikoku 10, which again is a nod to Kawaki getting Ishiki's eye ability. Now, one of the most interesting parts of the opening is the next scene, which is a quick scene of the various Otsutsuki that have come to Earth, which takes place in Ishiki's Ten Tails dimension with those Otsutsuki stone tablets. We see each Otsutsuki in the order they were first introduced to us, starting with Kaguya, who came in Naruto Shippuden, then Kinshiki, who was shown at the very beginning of the Boruto movie fighting Sasuke, then Momoshiki, who appears near the end of that opening scene from the Boruto movie, then Urashiki, who was shown in the anime soon after Momoshiki and Kinshiki, and then finally Isshiki. The setting of Ishiki's Ten Tails dimension is what's most interesting though. We already knew for a fact that Momoshiki, Kinshiki, Kaguya, and Isshiki were represented on the 4 stone tablets on the left, but the 2 on the right are a mystery since they are destroyed, which is shown to us again in this quick little scene. Now, Urashiki has been a prime suspect for one of the 2 destroyed tablets, But the problem is that he's never appeared or been mentioned in a single scene in the manga as of yet. So a lot of us, are kind of weary about whether he's actually going to be on these Otsutsuki tablets or not. However, since the anime does like to foreshadow things in the openings and the actual episodes, I think this is a pretty good indication that Urashiki will in fact be one of those destroyed tablets. Which makes me really happy because I really want Urashiki to be involved in the manga storyline, and better yet, I want him to somehow still be alive. My wish may or may not come true, but that's what I hope will happen. I'm not sure how they'll approach the Leaf Village's knowledge of Urashiki in the manga, since they never even acted like he's existed, but we'll see. It does look like the anime is telling us that Urashiki is one of the destroyed tablets though, as he's appearing alongside the other Otsutsuki in this dimension, and Urashiki is also positioned on the right side, which is the side of the two destroyed panels. He's also lined up height-wise with the upper right destroyed tablet, like how Momoshiki is pretty much next to his tablet. So the upper right tablet that has a Rinnegan symbol might refer to Urashiki's tablet, as a lot of people have hypothesized for a long time. Although Kaguya, Kinshiki, and Isshiki are not lined up with their tablets, so that might not actually mean anything at all. But you get the point. And then the placement of Code, Eida, and Daemon with the Otsutsuki in that dimension might be hinting that those three have some Otsutsuki connections, which is obvious for Code, since he's an Otsutsuki worshiper with a white costume. Now, the last two things I want to discuss is for manga readers only, so if you only watch the anime, you'll probably want to go watch another video because this will be a spoiler starting right now. Going back to that Otsutsuki tablet scene, these 5 Otsutsuki we saw would only give us the identities of 5 of the Otsutsuki tablets, leaving one of the destroyed tablets still unknown. And the only other Otsutsuki we know of so far is Shibai Otsutsuki, who at the very least had his remains come to Earth at some point, since Amado supposedly used them to give Eida and Daemon their abilities. And there's a decent chance that Amado could possibly be working with Shibai, for Shibai to help Amado revive his daughter, or Amado could be Shibai's vessel in disguise, or whatever else might be going on. So there's a decent chance that at some point, Shibai came to Earth before Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Urashiki did, which means he might be the other Otsutsuki represented on those destroyed tablets. It might seem confusing how that works out since Urashiki didn't seem to have a partner in the anime, and he kinda did his own thing and also helped out Momoshiki and Kinshiki as part of the trio, so Urashiki and Shibai being partners might seem almost out of place. But it actually might not be that weird. According to Amado and Momoshiki, Shibai is no longer in this dimension, presumably because he ascended to a higher dimension. So Urashiki may have just lost his partner because his partner ascended to godhood, in which case Shibai would probably be the upper destroyed tablet, and Urashiki would be the lower one, meaning the whole positioning of Urashiki wasn't that important in the opening, other than him being on the right side. I think that could work, and it also feels fitting to me for Urashiki and Shibai to be partners, just based on how he told Toneri that the Otsutsuki saw everything, and the only reasonable way for them to do that would be with a Senrigan, which Eida supposedly got via Shibai's DNA. So I feel like the connection is there. And based on Kaguya and Isshiki just doing their own thing after Kaguya betrayed Isshiki, it doesn't seem like the Otsutsuki just immediately get a new partner whenever they lose theirs, which could explain Urashiki's role as more of a scout acting by himself and aiding Momoshiki and Kinshiki a little bit more. Then when it comes to that scene of Boruto's generation fighting things, Ishiki's cubes that Kawaki, probably summoned, are not fighting Toneri's puppets that are running towards Boruto's generation. The cubes are actually fighting Boruto's generation, as everyone is sending their most powerful attacks to destroy those cubes. In that future scene from chapter 75, the question was whether everyone was after Boruto or Kawaki, or possibly some after Code while the kids were fighting Boruto and Kawaki. I explained in a recent video why I think Kawaki is the most likely culprit, and this opening really foreshadows this, as Kawaki is using his cubes against Boruto's generation, while they're all ganging up to destroy those cubes, symbolizing everyone teaming up to take down Kawaki, possibly because he attacked Boruto again. Now, it is a little weird because right before this, Kawaki is helping Team 7 fight Toneri's puppets, and then he's standing together with Boruto's generation in Isshiki's dimension, seemingly looking up at Code Eida and Daemon in the Otsutsuki that were shown to us. The Team Inoshikacho and Tsubaki's team are clearly fighting Kawaki's keys. Furthermore, at the very end of the opening, we see Sarada zip by using Chidori, then Mitsuki zips by in his Sage transformation, then Kawaki swings his arm with his Ninja Tech body morphing thing, then Boruto attacks with a Rasengan. The appearance of Mitsuki's Sage mode followed by Kawaki attacking might be another nod to that future scene where we see Mitsuki in his Sage transformation and he's angry at someone, and then the next panel was Kawaki with his Ninja Tech body moving arm thing. So while they are giving us mixed signals about Kawaki, that might be to hype up the manga readers and give them a little nudge, while foreshadowing things to the anime viewers without completely giving away what's going to happen. And that about covers the breakdown of the opening. Let me know if there are some other small details you noticed that I missed, or if you have an alternative interpretation for some of the Easter eggs I pointed out in the video. But that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you guys for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, become a member, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.